Hey there, welcome back to another video. And today's video, I'm just simply going to answer the question of why is it I love languages so much? Where did this passion come from? What are my long-term goals with languages, really? My language learning journey truly began in 2014 in South America. It was a terrible, terrible time. Languages literally saved my life. Let me explain real briefly what I mean. Well, it was 2014 and I was making grand life plans to, move forward with my life and do some good things. And I needed to have some paperwork done and correct a few things. So, off on a plane I went to Guyana, my home country, where I was born. Little did I know it was going to be the worst thing I could ever do. But at the same time, as they say, every cloud has a silver lining. And I'm trying to pull my silver lining from that very dark cloud that was my life. So here I was in Guyana. I was there for about a month and a really bad thing happened to me very briefly. Well, basically, I was raped, beaten, nobody believed me, police even asked me, I know he, I don't know you. You sure you want to say he raped you? By the way, come to find out this guy was an ex-cop. What the hell do you think I said? That was not going anywhere good for me, even though I was clearly still sitting in the police station bleeding, and he's sitting like right there, right next to me, hands reach. Anyway, that began the descent into nothingness. Basically, my family and everybody turned their back on me. They blamed me for it because somehow I was supposed to know, hey, a guy buys you a drink, you owe him your vagina. Apparently. Anyway, so ended up moving from one house to another, blah, blah, blah. Things were not going well. For the last about 10 months or so, I lived in a little shack, no clean water, no clean running water anyway, no bathroom, no electricity. So I literally had to be in somebody's house every day. It was the worst. Anywho, right before leaving, I had discovered Duolingo and was using that a little bit. Internet was not something you have all the time whenever you want. Freaking luxury in most parts, all right? Even ice is a luxury, so internet, all right. So my trip to internet was generally down a super steep hill that's just rocks and my slippers. Shoes would be a real big word. My slippers can literally feel every single rock down there. Then you have to go across the little creek, back up the other side that's all sand, across the road, all through the houses, back on the other side of the main road, then back up the road to get to the shop where they had internet. And let me tell you, this will come as no surprise, there wasn't always internet. In my infinite wisdom, what I decided to do when I did have internet, I would look up simple things like how to conjugate verbs, grammar rules and such, and I would screenshot them. And then I just bought a simple notebook, got a pen, pencils, paint, crayons, whatever, and just rewrote them and basically studied like that by candlelight and by sunlight. So when people tell me nonsense about limited resources, oh my God, Sonara, because this is how I imagine people talk when they're saying these things to me. You don't have to be so mean. I mean, some of us have limited resources. If you're asking to be on Facebook 5, 6, 7 times a day, you don't have limited resources. You're perfectly capable of learning the language. Asking for an adjective and a verb, seriously, if you can't do that on your own, what the hell are you really doing with your time? What are you doing with your life? Seriously. I mean, let's be real here. That's pretty much my response, because no, I'm sorry. Limited resources be damned. If you really want to learn the language, you will find a way to learn the language. I did it in South America. In rotten circumstances. You can do it too if you're able to get on Facebook and check comments all the time. By the way, that's something that really annoys me with these Facebook comments and stuff. It's like, okay, the question has been answered 49 times. Why do you need to answer it 44th time? I don't get it. That was a side note to just vent a little bit. I just needed to vent on that. That is essentially basically why I love languages so much, because they literally saved my life. I pretty much assure you, had I not discovered Duolingo and had I not been somebody who just genuinely likes to learn and keep my brain active, I would be dead right now. No word of a lie on that. I would have jumped off that bridge a long time ago. Tied a rope to a brick, and there are plenty lying around with all the houses being built off the river. No joke. And even though most days I'd hear things like, she mad. What are you learning that for? Why don't just find a man and live? Nah. What she? Waste time. Mad woman. Pretty much was generally the response I got. But I had to keep my mind active. I had to keep myself occupied. Well, being somebody who's always loved languages but could never afford to take classes, it was all I had to hold on to. For dear life. For dear life. And I mean that quite literally. So that's, in a nutshell, why I love languages so much and what led me to start my business and everything down the line. Maybe we'll talk a bit more about it. I don't know. We'll see. Cheers.